Hey, welcome to the Zenwaves channel, and this stream is Zenwaves Live, where we get to go through some of the news about sustainability from Japan and perhaps share some insight behind the scenes. I think that you can see that we are going to be talking about two articles about Ukraine. Now, Ukraine got invaded last week on the 24th by Russia, and we saw the world uniting against the tyranny. Now, those of you that are familiar with SDGs might be familiar that or for last December, it was a theme for Goal 16: peace, justice, and strong institutions. And this war is taking us a large step back. Now, I think it's important to talk about it because the matter is not just about Ukraine, but about the whole world. Now, the first article we're going to be talking about is what you can do for Ukraine in this time. And more importantly, not more importantly, it is important to know what they're fighting for and why you are, there are actions that you can do, not just for Ukraine, but for yourself too. And the second article is about how Japan is reacting to the Russian-Ukraine conflict. By the way, I'm your host, Roger from Zenbird Media. Zenbird Media is an online magazine that shares sustainability from the world to from Japan to the world. So anything that's related to SDGs, we're interested. We do columns, we do news, we do interviews, and share them with the world. If you have been with us, then you know that we are interested in almost anything, and in anyone doing good for the environment or society. If you are interested in sustainability news from Japan, please consider subscribing to our channel. And we are also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Well, I'm a little exhausted, to be honest, after 3 meetings a day. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to go into the IPCC report that was released earlier this week. So we'll try to cover as much ground as we can. I'll be taking maybe a few water breaks in the middle, just to make sure my throat doesn't collapse. Alright, let's get started with our first article. Let me do some switching here. Okay. This is so strange. I've been saying this for the past few weeks, but my computer has been running on low power. I can't really get some things to work. I can scroll, and definitely this is not reacting to my clicks. Give me a moment while my computer tries to catch up. This week has been really tough. I mean, for Ukrainians, they have held on for one whole week. Now, there are a lot more things we can do, definitely, to show solidarity. But as long as the perpetrator doesn't want to stop, world leaders are kind of helpless if they want to prevent World War III, and that is the main goal of all the countries that are coming together. Even neutral countries like Finland, Switzerland, Singapore, they are usually neutral when it comes to this kind of conflict. But knowing World War III is at hand, even they have to step up and speak against such injustice. Oh, this is not working. Why isn't it working? Probably too many things. Am I having too many windows here? Is it having trouble here? Okay, I'm gonna put on be right back. Try to fix this. Sorry for the wait. Thank goodness we're back. Every week there's always these small little things. Whenever I have to change location, change hardware, and these little things always pop up. And now, after this stream, I'm gonna find out why it took so long just to switch over. Anyway, let's not wait any longer and let's jump into our first article. Ukraine in need. 3 things we can do for Ukrainians and ourselves. Now, the Russian invasion of Ukraine on 24th February is devastating news, uprooting Ukraine's peace and freedom while threatening the country's people with death and destruction. As we witness how war develops daily, we can't help but feel Ukraine's loss. Naturally, we start asking ourselves, how can we help Ukraine? Though these are confusing times, there are many ways to play a bigger role in helping our fellow humans. There are mainly three main ways: to learn, take action, and be kind. So, to learn and filter critically, especially the Russian-Ukraine crisis relevance to you. Now, war feels sudden, but it's always a result of a series of events that has led to it. And in Ukraine's case, well, there is a lot. This is quite complex, but if you want, you can start tracing from is the annexation of Crimea. This article from Vox, which I'll put it in the link. It's in the link in the description, so you can have a look to actually learn about the history. It gives a detailed look at the causes for invasion, including the accumulation leading to 2014's attack on Crimea. We should learn how the war is not just about Ukraine and Russia, but also how it affects the rest of the world. Critically analyzing information will be crucial in weeding out the misinformation, which is a common strategy in modern warfare. Warfare today. Emotions run high too, especially on the internet. So even though, let's say, you may go to a forum and a lot of people are bashing each other, who is right, who's wrong, remember, you must stay critical. We must stay critical of the information shared with us. Fact checks to make sure the sources are essential. Here are some sources that you can pick up to get information closest to the source. Kyiv Independent. Kyiv Post is actually Ukraine's longest running English newspaper, providing trustworthy news from Ukraine. It was shut down for a few days last November due to some disagreement. So the staff that were fired from the Kyiv Post actually took to crowdfunding to launch Kyiv Independent, another English outlet, and it received a lot of support, supported successfully by over 900% of initial goal. It focuses strongly on frontline news and spotlighting stories of the most affected. Now, Kyiv Post is still around. So after it was shut down a few days, a new CEO was appointed, and Kyiv Post continued its operations. This is a media that is funded by the country, and is currently the best place for you want the news coming from the government and its military. Stand with Ukraine. Stand with Ukraine has both Instagram and Twitter accounts sharing the ongoings of war. Let's have a look. While sharing information related to the conflict. Now, they are worth a follow if you want the latest news without going through a lot of reposts, a lot of opinion postings. Usually they focus less on the post itself. So the stories is where the news really comes in, and where you want to to give it a follow if you want the latest. They also have a Twitter account if that's what you are using. Another one would be Ukrainians in Solidarity. Ukrainians in Solidarity is an Instagram account, and it is an account to support people who are living in Ukraine, sharing support information and broadcasting images. Again, it's also same. Most of the content will be coming in their story form. Okay. Now, the second thing you can do during this period is speak out and take action. Now, even in Japan, where usually they are not they're not really bold or colorful in protest, but there are people doing, and there are things that you can do even if you're in Japan. To know about the war is different from knowing that people are suffering. It's within our capacity to take what we have learned to apply for betterment of civilization. We should go beyond just learning about what's wrong, because we can. Speaking out and creating awareness is something we can do. If the social network is your chosen tool, then remember again, fact check before sharing. Now is one of the times where we need to take action. Many of us live in peace and prosperity, and we should use this privilege to speak out for others and take action to support the less fortunate. Even though some of us are in Japan, there are ways we can help our fellow Ukrainians. Donating money is one of the best ways, and you can donate to some of the following organizations. If you're in Japan, of course, Embassy of Ukraine actually have released their banking information. For those wishing to donate to Ukraine, instead of going through the troublesome process of international transfer, the Embassy of Ukraine in Japan has released information for a domestic bank transfer on Twitter. And following the Japanese information, they also released an English one here. UNICEF Ukraine. When conflict breaks out, children are one of the most vulnerable, often lacking access to health support, nutrition, education, sanitation, and even water that's safe for drinking. These are physical needs. We haven't really touched on the psychological and emotional damage to them. And UNICEF Ukraine has been there to provide support and assistance. And UNICEF is calling for donations directly for the Ukrainian crisis. Doctors Without Borders. These medical heroes work in areas worldwide where medical needs are most dire. Unfortunately, the escalation has forced them to stop their activities in Ukraine. Nevertheless, the Doctors Without Borders are still in Ukraine, watching how the situation evolves, so they can find a way to provide medical aid. Now, this article was released about 4 or 5 days ago, so yeah, things might have changed. It's better to check what they have done, what they are doing right now. Let's check it out. See how's it like. And yep, they are also accepting donations right now. Okay, updated on Monday. Yeah, they're still in. There's no other updates yet, so hopefully things have changed. Okay, continuing. The Ukrainian Red Cross is also there. They are ready to provide medical and humanitarian support in areas that faces shortages. Since the beginning of the escalation, they have been working around the clock to assist Ukrainian populace. You also can donate to Ukrainian Red Cross here, and the link is there. Now, it's based. The main page is in Ukrainian, but they do have an English donation page for donations. Now, the final thing you can do is be kind to other people. So choose love, not hate. It's very easy to simplify the narrative, and that's why our ability to pass information is so important. You must know how to make sure what you're reading, what you're accepting is not fake information. Just because Russia invaded Ukraine, it doesn't mean all Russians are villains. Many Russians are against this war, and its people have helped protest across Russia. In Russia, it's very dangerous thing for a Russian to actually protest, and I believe the last I checked, 9,000 people have been arrested, and these people have risked their freedom and lives to do so, to talk against the war. Why is this important for us? Well, we need to hold instigators of war accountable and be kind to those who have stood up against it. Why? Because even when the dust of war settles, the world will face a fork in the road with Russia. How we thread through that sunflower path will depend on our capacity for empathy. It teaches us to be more appreciative of what we currently have too. It is a reminder that peace, especially the mundane but precious peace, is not to be taken for granted. Peace takes a lot of effort to maintain and it requires all of us to be responsible and contribute to keeping it. And let's not forget our friends and families. Ukrainian men stay to fight and are torn away from their families, bidding farewell to their wives and children who make their way to seek refuge in other countries. We are fortunate not to experience a feeling of how we may never see our loved ones again. So, hug your family, call your friends, let them know you care. And lastly, and probably the most important, most immediate action you can take is reach out to your Ukrainian friends, especially if they are away from home. Give them warm company to relieve the emotional stress built up during this few days, and let them know that you stand with them. Peace Ukraine. Slava Ukraine. So yeah, there are things that you can do. I have friends who feel helpless because what can we do as individuals when we can't participate in the war? Well, we don't have to fight in the war to help. There are organizations. Help those organizations and realize that what they are fighting for is the same peace that all of us want. And it's a good reminder that what we have, we are so lucky to have what we know without risking it disappear. And again, I cannot switch to the next news. Wow, this is a big problem that I need to figure out what to do. Goodness gracious me. Yeah, so my friend was messaging me. There's this helplessness that people feel, and it's natural to feel that way. Why? Because when we see the Ukrainians getting attacked, we feel empathy with them. We can identify with them because they were a peaceful. It is a peaceful. Now, no country is perfect. It has its own issues. Which country doesn't have, And when you start empathizing with them, you realize, hey, they are just like us, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters. Yeah, they are fighting for just a peace of mind, and now they're snatched out of that just because they have to protect their hopes. Someone has disrupted their lives. So yeah, it is a big problem. Now there are some people, how much do people care? You can't force them. People who don't care to care. It's always this bell curve. Some will care, but there's always this percentage of laggards who don't really care. But if you are sensitive to news, you will realize that the war. If Ukraine loses, it's actually a very, very, very dangerous thing. With superpowers playing their war games, they might take the opportunity. Some countries want more. There's so many territorial disputes around the world. It's a big issue. Now I can't even scroll this. This is so bad. This is by far the worst stream. Sorry guys. Whoever's watching in the future. Sorry, this is really, really bad. And with the IPCC release, wow, that's a double heat from the world, really. had to deal with World War, and we had to deal with the greatest crisis ever. Yeah, even if the war dies down, hopefully as soon as possible, but yeah, I think the experts are saying it will last for at least months, which is terrible. So how are we going to concentrate on dealing with the climate crisis with this looming over our heads? And there has been news that big oil companies are actually trying to push for their own agendas, taking advantage of the situation to make more money. Greed is a horrible thing. You know what? While we wait for the computer to react, hold on. Maybe it's a setting. Let me check the settings. If it doesn't, adjust itself, it's not the settings. Still seems to be. I will read through some news while we wait for my computer to come back on. Let's see what we have here. Endangered sharks found in cat and dog food. DNA study shows. You gotta be kidding me. What is this? Okay, I think this is a very interesting headline. But headlines are made for people to catch their attention to read. So it might not be what it is. Let's see what this is. Recheck every cookie. Okay. Endangered sharks found in cat and dog food. DNA studies show. Okay. Let's set this up. Okay. Pet food containing endangered sharks is being fed to cats and dogs by unwitting owners, a study has revealed. Scientists found that several brands contain endangered species, but listed only vague ingredients such as ocean fish, meaning that consumers are often oblivious. The majority of pet owners are likely lovers of nature, and we think most would be alarmed to discover that they could be unknowingly contributing to the overfishing of shark populations, said the study authors Ben Wainwright and Ian French of Yale NUS College, Singapore. Shark populations are overfished throughout the world, with declines of more than 70% in the past 50 years. As apex predators, they are crucial for the balance of ocean food chain, and the loss of sharks has had knock-on effects on seagrass beds and coral reefs. The sale of shark fins has been widely publicized, but a silent contributor, the author says, is the use of shark products in everyday items such as pet food and cosmetics. Using DNA barcoding, the scientists tested 45 pet food products from 16 brands. Hold on. Okay, this is really strange. Hold on. Oh dear. You know what, guys? I'm gonna end this stream here. This is just this is just unprofessional. I'm so sorry. We can't do this. Yeah. All the browsers have frozen. Proving that the lifespan of my laptop is coming to a close soon. Well, I can recycle this dude here. This fine. But definitely I'll need a better setup to stream properly. That's definitely. Well, yeah, that's life, isn't it? Anyway, I got a part here. Sorry for this unfortunate event, we'll do better. I'll try to see if I can get another time to stream this. But I really want to get into the IPCC reports. Anyway, yeah, with the war looming around us, it is natural to feel unease. Well, this is the weekend. I know the Ukrainians are still fighting. Keep them on their minds. Like I shared in the article just now. Remember to take care of what's around you. Things that we often take for granted, but are probably the most important in our lives. And we have the chance right now to express our appreciation and show gratitude. So do that for this week. I'll see you next week. I can't even end the stream.